Hello, everybody. Welcome to week two. I want to congratulate you for making it to week two. So, let's dive straight into today's topic. So, we're going to be learning more on agile methodologies today. Yes, we're going to be learning more on agile methodologies. Now, agile methodologies provide a framework for software development that is centered around collaboration, iteration, learning, and value delivery. Now, what is the meaning of all the OPP grammar I just finished saying? When you talk about collaboration, talking about when you and your team or you and people, stakeholders have to, I don't want to use the word collaborate again, but you have to like come together, talk, share ideas. You get not one person not just going vroom, everybody's coming together. You get sharing ideas on the next way forward, right? Iteration, you're trying again, you get trying again, you test, you come back, you try again. Learning, of course, you know what learning and value delivery to deliver value. So this is a framework that is all about collaboration, iteration, learning, and value delivery. Now, in Agile, development teams break large efforts into manageable increments and tackle them in time boxed cycles. You want to do a big project, then they break it into small. Okay, I want to we are trying to solve a problem, right? So let's first build this aspect. So there'll be a time frame for you to build that. You get. So they break it. They're not just okay. Let's work on building everything and you get. But they're just going to break it down. Okay, let's build this first. Let's build this so that they can be seeing their improvements every time frame that they've set for themselves. So the idea is for your team to have a clear, unified approach for how to define and complete work. Now, we have different agile frameworks, but Scrum is the most popular agile framework used today. You should have heard of Scrum if you are someone familiar with and project management products. So Scrum is like one of the most popular. There are different ones which we'll see as we move further. So, according to one annual report, 97% of teams use Scrum. Can you imagine? So, you can see that a lot of um, teams use Scrum. Scrum is very popular, but it's not the only agile method. We have other ones like Kanban, we have the Lean, we have the Nexus, large scale Scrum, etc. There are even still many. Now, let's talk about the agile development practices. Following agile principles can lead to greater productivity and team alignment. When you follow agile principles, it can lead to greater productivity and team alignment. When you are flexible and willing to pivot quickly, you reduce risks. Like I think we're talking about cup, producing a cup in our last class. And I was like, okay, when you produce like um for agile, you're just dividing it into bits, right? So let's say you're doing it bit, okay, I want to first do the undo, right? Then you feel like, okay, this and something is wrong with this undo. You're ready to pivot immediately instead of completing everything and seeing that there's a whole mistake, then having to scatter everything and redo again, right? So when you are flexible and willing to pivot quickly, you reduce risks, and it is possible to move fast and give customers what they want. And let's check out the Agile manifestos. Now, for the Agile manifestos, they prioritize individuals and interactions over processes and tools. Prioritize a working software over comprehensive documentation. You prefer your software to be working. Let's have something that is working than lot of documentation and the like. They prefer customer collaboration over contract negotiation. They also prefer what? Responding to change over following a plan. Imagine you are going like I've been saying, you are doing something and you feel like, okay, this is what we planned I want to do. They say that something is going on, but you say, no, 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 because you've already planned to do it. Let's just follow the plan. No. In Agile, you must respond to change. If you see that something is not working in the plan, then you have to go back. You have to iterate, right? So this is the Agile manifesto. Let's look at the Agile best practices. Now, we have the iterative cycles. Here, teams follow a repeatable cycle of development activities, right? Such as planning, design, development, testing, and deployment, right? Each iteration provides an opportunity to incorporate feedback and deliver a better product. When you have to repeat, as long as it's not working, then you have to just go back. You get, we want something that is working in Agile. Then we also have the incremental development, right? Yeah, developers break down large projects into smaller, more manageable units of work. Since each batch of work builds on previous increments, your product is constantly being improved on, right? So instead of it saying you want to build and some like a very large thing, they'll break it down into bits so that um when you're done with that, you see that okay, everything's working well. You are improving. Next stage, you are working on that, improving it as well, right? Then another practice in Agile is frequent communication. Communication is key in Agile. You must communicate, right? You you talk like all across your team, the development team, the design team, all of you in the team, the developers, designers, right? There must be an alignment. You must communicate, connect with them regularly, and it minimizes what costly what network. So it is very, very important. Agile teams touch base on capacity, work status, and any issue that needs to be addressed, right? So there will be a lot of events like meetings in Agile. You get, because there will be a lot of meetings because you have to discuss whatever it is that is going on so that everybody can be on the same page and you can know the next step. Another practice in Agile is time boxing. Time boxing. This is where developers focus on completing one task at a time before moving on to the next project or phase of work. I told you before that Agile, they've broken down, you want to build a whole big thing, right? So they've broken down this big task into smaller tasks, right? So these tasks, they have a time frame, right? So instead of saying, okay, I want to use 1 year to build this application, okay, let's first have the MVP in 3 months, right? So that 3 months, you're already working on it. You must, your time box, you focus on that task, the main features that you want to be in the application. I also mentioned before that a lot of applications I see that are doing very well today did not just start that way. There are many features that are many applications today that were not there before. There was an MVP, right? The MVP was still solving problems, right? But it did not have all these extensive features that is having right now that is making the app more desirable to users. So all those tasks, they are time boxed. So this in Agile, we finish a task within a time frame before moving to the next project or phase of work. Then we have retrospectives. Team members check in with one another at regular intervals, typically after a set time box period like a sprint. to reflect on how to improve processes going forward. Yes. So it's check out, okay, designer, how is it going? Okay. I think we're on the same page. Okay. Oh no, no, we have to do this. Then from doing the retrospectives, we can bring out what you need to improve your processes going forward. Agile retrospectives facilitate transparent, open communication that allow teams to constantly evolve. So I want to urge you to be an agile product manager. But like I said, there are other practices though, but be agile. Now let's talk about Scrum. We said Scrum is like what's the most popular agile framework. So what is Scrum? Now, Scrum, like I said, Scrum is a way to get work done as a team in small places at a time with continuous experimentation and feedback loops along the way so that you can learn and improve as you go. Remember that Scrum is under Agile, so we can say um, the way you get work done as a team in small places at a time with continuous experimentation and feedback loops along the way to learn as you go. Now, Scrum helps people and teams deliver value incrementally in a collaborative way. Remember, we are still under Agile. And you know, Agile, you are doing as you're doing small, you are creating something good, right? In the next time frame, you are creating another thing again, improving on what you already have, right? So you're delivering value in Scrum. You're delivering value in Scrum. Now, the Scrum framework is made up of a Scrum team that consists of a product owner, a Scrum master, and a developer. So if you ask that, what who are those in the Scrum team, right? So you should know your product owner, the Scrum master, and the developers. So in Scrum, decisions are based on observation, experience, and experimentation. The Scrum team takes part in 5 events and produces 3 artifacts. Don't worry, I'm going to share a video with you. Yes, I'm going to share a video with you so you can understand Scrum better. We have some people that actually study Scrum Mastery to become a Scrum Master, right? So I'm going to be sharing the video with you. You're going to understand Scrum better. Yes, get to understand Scrum better. Then, um, okay, the pillars of Scrum. Remember here we said it's that we have 3 people in the Scrum team, the product owner, the Scrum Master, and the developers. Now here we're talking about the pillars of Scrum. We have transparency. Transparency is very important in Scrum. In fact, you cannot do without transparency in Scrum. Inspection, experimentation. These 3 are the pillars of Scrum. And I mentioned that we have in Scrum, takes part in 5 events. These are the events: sprint, sprint planning, daily scrum, sprint review, sprint retrospective. I'm not going to really be explaining much on all of this in this video. When you watch the video I'll be sharing, you understand better. Now, in Scrum, when you hear roles, we're talking about job roles and responsibilities. For example, you know your Scrum product owner, the Scrum master, the Scrum development team. So these are the roles. When you hear roles in Scrum, you're referring to the job roles and responsibilities. But when you hear ceremonies, you're talking about meetings. So it's not naming ceremony. It's not. So we're talking about meetings like your backlog grooming. You're going to understand more on backlog when you see that video as well. Sprint planning, daily stand up, sprint iteration review, retrospectives. Then we're also going to be learning on product backlog in class as well. Now, let's talk about artifacts. When you hear artifacts in Scrum, they're also referring to documentation, right? Documentation that are required from you as a product manager. For example, your product vision. As a product manager, you be the one to craft out the product vision, the sprint goal, the product backlog, sprint backlog, definition of done, burn down chart, increment. What all these documentation is what we refer to as what artifacts in Scrum. Now let's come to prioritization technique. Yes. Okay. Now let's learn on product backlog. Yes. Now, a product backlog is a list of tasks, features, or requirements that needs to be completed to achieve the product vision. Right? Now, all the things that we need to put, the features you want to put, the work that needs to be done, the requirement that is needed to achieve that your product vision that you already set is the backlog. Right? All what you need to do, all the lists is a backlog. Now, imagine you want to put this feature, you want to put that feature. Your engineer say, "Oh, this feature is very good." You still go to ask come, "No, I want this feature. It's very important." So you have a lot of feature, and of course, you cannot deliver everything. I don't know. By now, you should have seen this Scrum video, but if you have not seen it, after this video, please make sure you watch it so that you can understand what I'm talking about. Eh? So now when they are bringing in new features, oh this week your stakeholder said they want this to be done. You as a product manager, you know that okay for your product vision to be fulfilled, then this feature is needed. So there are a lot of features, and it's not possible for your engineers, your developers to develop everything at the same time. Where's the time? Where's the resources? Money too is needed for all these things. So you must know how to prioritize your products backlog. That means prioritizing means choosing the one that you want to do, go go. Okay, everybody you want to do so. Okay, which one are we going to even start with? What is the first one? We just pick anyone and start. No, you as the product manager must use your sense that okay, I need to know the one that is probably more cost effective and will not take too much time. You get won't take too much money, won't take too much time, but we also produce a high value, right? So that is what you are going to focus on. Now we have different techniques for prioritizing product backlog because how will you know that okay this thing will produce a lot of value to the users? How do you know that? These are some techniques. We have the most them templates. We have value versus effort matrix, rise scoring model, weighted shortest job first, by a feature kernel model. Now let's learn on Moscow templates. Now it just means must have. Now the S is like should have, the C is could have, and the W is like won't have. You get? So from of course we understand English, Abby. You don't understand English. I believe you understand English. All right. So must haves are the features that you know that okay, for example, you want to do WhatsApp, right? And you know WhatsApp is a product that the main vision is to communicate, right? Good. You want so what are the must have feature there? At least the chat button, right? There must be that chat box where you chat. That is must have. Then we go to the should have. Okay, yes, should have this. It's not as important as the must have, but it's also good. It's important as well. Then could have means okay, it can be there, it cannot be there. Anyone you choose, right? That is could have. Then won't have means this one, no, never, never. We won't be having it. So that is Moscow templates. It provides a quick and clear prioritization based on necessity. So that's that about Moscow templates. And let's talk about value versus effort matrix. Now this is it. You can see the image down there. We have the value versus effort. Then you can if you can move closer to it, you can zoom it, try and zoom it. So this is a 2 by 2 grid. It helps team visualize tasks based on their potential value and the effort required. So you can see it promotes a focus on the high value and low effort. That value is very important, please. So the value versus effort, the one that is actually has a very high value with low effort is what you definitely want to what prioritize over the others. Let's come to rice scoring model. This is not the rice that you eat with your peers at home. I know you love food. All right. So now let's talk about rice scoring model. So rice is just an acronym for reach, impact, confidence, and what effort. So each feature is scored on these parameters. So it's okay. Can give maybe on a scale of 1 to 10 the reach, how many people will they be able to reach, the impact, how many people are like, what is the impact of this product you get. So all these things you put it, then the one that has the highest score gets top priority. Then let's talk about Kano model. So this model categorizes features into must be, performance, and attractive based on customer satisfaction and investment required. So it's an excellent tool for understanding customer preferences. Kano model is an excellent tool for understanding customer preferences. You have the must be, the performance and attractive. So then let's talk about the common challenges that you face in backlog prioritization. So managing conflicting stakeholder interests, because at times stakeholders they don't want to know if you get, you just want whatever the feature they suggest to you to be done. So how do you manage this conflict? What do you do? Transparent communication. Yes, you can solve it by what? Transparent communication, collaboration, right? Then you have decision making tools and clearly defined product goals. So everybody can understand, okay, this is our goal. Let's work towards this goal. Then number two, another challenge again is adjusting priorities in a rapidly changing environment, right? Maybe yesterday now people had love for a kind of feature. Maybe people's taste changes a lot, right? So they can say they don't like that thing again that they always liked, and you already prioritizing it. So what do we do in this place? So you must have regular backlog grooming and flexibility. You're ready to be flexible. Don't say, okay. They wanted the last year, and they still want to know you're ready to be flexible, right? Another challenge again is balancing short term wins with long term strategy. So you can say, okay, maybe if I do this product and maybe in the short term it will win, but is it worth it in the long term, right? So what do we do here? You keep the product vision in mind. Have that vision in mind during your prioritization. Now let's go to the next one, which is acceptance criteria. Now, from the from even the title, you already know what that is about, right? It is the criteria that needs to be fulfilled before you can accept a user story, right? It's a set of predefined requirements that must be met to mark a user story complete. Let's talk about our definition of done. Yes, DOD. It represents the organization's formal definition of quality for all product backlog items. That means all things that you need to do. Your company or your organization already said, okay, until this thing is done, this way, until we start seeing this kind of thing, that means you're not yet done. So if you don't see that thing that is the definition of done, then you're not done. So the organization's formal definition of quality, what they expect that okay, at the end of this thing, we should be able to experience this. We should be able to do this thing on our application, right? That is your definition of done. So with that, we've come to the end of week two class. Anyone you don't understand, you can go over it again, listen to it very well. You can also work on your own as well. Check, research more, right? And ensure you watch the videos that will be shared with you. This is your ticket out to be submitted latest by Sunday night.